Hey guys, welcome. And today I am back with my shower milk cookie modeling. Just a modeling tutorial. Yeah, it's sort of a modeling tutorial, but it's also a progress shower milk cookie modeling progress. Okay, so last time we left off, we finished shower milk cookies hair and also his jaws. As you see, he now has his teeth. Oh, and tongue. Okay, so, okay, now for the next step. But first, let's sort out this bit of the hair because it is a bit too square at the top. This is easier if I go into front view. There we go. And perfect. There we go. And I also want to make the sort of thing that sticks out from, you see that sticky out thing? That's also a bit of the hair. So what I can do with that is knife cut right there and extrude. Done. There we go. This bit is where the other, well, you see that mark there? I think it's like a closed eye, but that is the sort of bit where it sticks out from the scalp, the side of the scalp. Well, side of the forehead. I don't know, but there we go. And just a few more tweaks and perfect. There we go. Ooh. Now for the next step, which you have probably noticed. What is the next step? Yep, as you see, shower milk cookie here, well, he is looking really naked, and to fix that, in this part, we're going to make his clothing. Okay. As you see here in this, oh, oops. As you see in this, shower milk cookie wears the typical jester clothing with the one-piece bodysuit and the frills around his neck, as well as a long cape. Okay, so let's make that. It's cube. Move it up. I'm going to build the bodysuit from the chest down, so yeah. Oh, wrong modifier. Oopsie. There we go. I was sorry getting ahead of myself then. So this is where the bodysuit starts. Let's move this in. And there we go. That's the chest part of the bodysuit. Let's also make a little extrusion for the chest bit. There we go. And Now for the bottom bit. No pun intended. Okay. There we go. Now we got the start of Shower Milk Cookie's bodysuit. Let's move these in because that's where the groin area is. And let's move these down. There we go. And oh, I wasn't meant to rotate this, I'm stupid. There we go. And now for the sleeves. Now with the sleeves, the left side is black, the other side, the right side is white. Let's do an inset first. And let's do this. These may look fat to begin with, but yeah. Actually, most clowns do have fat sleeves. And Shower Milk Cookie also does. So there we go. Let's also sort out this and boom. Now let's shrink this in so it looks more normal. We can also do a bit of a loop cut here. There we go. Perfect. And oh, there we go. And let's do the back. Actually, let's first cut the neck hole. That way I'll have something to work with. See, we got the neck hole and okay. Let's do this. Now this makes the jumpsuit more square. So I would have to play around with vertices a lot here. This friggin' hair gets in the way though. Actually, this should be where the frills are, but to make it more normal, it's best if I just, well, we'll have it not clipping. Because with Blender and all that, clipping is imperfection. Okay. This is now starting to look more like Shower Milk Cookie's bodysuit. Well, a bodysuit, actually. Let's also make a cut here, because we have some issues. There we go. This also needs to be moved down, and this in. I'm actually not going to worry about this bit there because that is probably useful for when I, well, do the sleeves. This is starting to look very good now. Now for the legs, let's move these down. Oh yeah, there's also the back I have to do. All right. This is starting to look like Shire Milk cookies. Well, bodysuit. Just need to do the legs, and then it's onto the sleeves. Okay, I also did some extra cuts here, so I can round it out a bit more. Okay, there we go. That's the body. Well, the lower part looks about done. Now for the upper part. Okay, now for the sleeves. There we go. And okay. Now looking at Shire Milk Cookies sleeves, they are tapered on the upper arm, but more puffier near the lower arm. So let's do that. And there we go. Let's also round it out. A bit. There we go. And sharp milk cookie sleeves. Done. I'm not sure how that happened, but should do. Now let's make a cut for the armhole. I meant hand hole, sleeve hole, whatever the frick you want to call it. There we go. Now, before I do the sleeve, notice how Shire Milk Cookie has these puffy bits that are sticking out from each sleeve? Well, to do that, I am going to grab this, extrude again. This may backfire. Embarrassingly. Let's also move this down. There we go. And let's flare this up. Perfect. And face, extrude individual faces. Oh no. Edge. I'll do it this way. Okay. Move this here. Perfect. Yeah, modeling clothes are not very easy unless you're a tailor. But this should really do. Okay. Now we have Shower Milk Cookie sleeves done. And that is not all the clothes done. We still need to do his frills. So let's do that. To do the frills, what I am going to do is split this in half. Now, the front of the frills is where his soul gem is going to be, so I'm going to move this to the back. Now mirror, not subdivision surface like I accidentally did at the beginning. What a dum-dum of me. Okay. Okay, there we go. I can fix any mistakes if I want to, but this should do. Nicely. And join it here. Now I'm going to make this smaller. Because that, like I said, that's where Shower Milk Cookie Soul Jam will be. So, yeah. Let's move these up. Rotate them. And done. Clown frills. Oh, pfft. Now, before I continue, Sour Milk Cookie, obviously, as you see, he sort of has a neck hole for the frills, but it's gonna be a bit impossible for me to do that in Blender. I'll also make wait, no. It's these bits. I'm done. Okay. Actually, I might also make the neck hole. So what I'll do for that is make a loop cut here. That way I will also have well, okay. Now, yeah, I see what's going on. My loop cut sort of screwed everything up here. Let's reapply the mirror modifier to see what's going on. There we go, that's the problem. Now let's try again. Perfect. And okay, X faces. Now I want to bridge these. Yeah, modeling takes a lot of focus, so yeah. Sorry if I'm a bit quiet there. Now, extrude. And okay, when I extrude, this happens. I have no idea why. I think it's something to do with the way I bridge this. Yeah. I'll just delete this bit. There we go. That fixes it. Okay. Done. Wait, the neck hole's not done. I'm not sure how to round this out. So what I'll just do is have the neck just about right there, like this. As you see, the issue also continues with this. area. Perfect. Now that's the frills done, it is time for Sour Milk Cookie Soul Jam. First, I might make these a bit bigger. There we go. Perfect. And let's also move these out because that is where his cape should be. Okay. Now the soul jam is, why do I keep doing that? The soul jam is directly on Sour Milk Cookie's chest. So you see, it is sort of an oval with these lines there and the soul jam in the middle. Okay. There we go. And there. Ooh, loop cut. There. X vertices. Mirror modifier. Subdivision surface. And let's make this flatter. There we go. Now this is going to be the base of the soul jam, which first the middle bit should be higher, and then bigger. Do this, this, and okay. Now let's cut this in half. Do this. Wrong button. Scale. And now extrude individual faces. Scale. Scale. Move this up. Move this down. Done! That's the base of the soul jam. Now for the inside. For that, I am going to do a cut from here, 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 and here. There we go. Because, you know, the soul jam is supposed to be an eye shape, and yeah. Okay. Now we have the full thing for where the soul jam will be. Now, what I'm going to do is, to avoid modeling this whole soul jam again, I am going to recycle it from my pure vanilla cookie model, because technically Sour Milk Cookie Soul Jam is pure vanilla cookie soul jam, but upside down. So that's what I'll do. First save and go to my pure vanilla cookie model. I had also just started to texture him. As you see, the eyes and his hair are now done. But that, we're after the soul jam. It is cube dot 018. So let's go back to Sour Milk Cookie. There is already a cube dot 018 there, which is for this. But okay, let's append and go to my pure vanilla cookie model. There it is. Objects. There's the soul gem. Append. There we go. Now, yeah, this needs to be bigger. There we go. And now this looks like pure vanilla cookie soul gem still, so yeah, it also still has the modifiers. And what I'll do is rotate this 180. Done. I turned a pure vanilla cookie soul gem into a shadow milk cookie soul gem. Too easy. Okay. Let's also make this flatter. And done. Now, the cape and the... Okay, the cape's now missing, so let's do the cape. For that, we just do this. Cut. Delete vertices. Mirror, clipping, subdivision surface. Move this here. Now, there we go. Move this out. And I will also do a, well, first let's move this down. And extrude. Rotate. And done. Okay. Now this is a bit thin. Let's move these out. Perfect. Let's also move these out. We don't want a thin cape on our shadow milk cookie. There we go. Now, there's a problem here. Yes, the thing where the cape splits into two is a bit high on the model. So to fix that, we're going to make it lower. Right near where the butt is. And let's move these out. And perfect. Now, I'm not sure if these triangle things that are coming down from his frills part of the cape, but yeah, I think they're part of the jumpsuit. Usually they're part of the capes, though. So what I might do is do that. Let's hide the frills for a bit. And okay. Oh, Don't do that. Done. Okay. Now let's fix that clipping issue we have with the frills and the cape. Perfect. Done. Perfect. Shower Milk Cookie's clothing is now complete. Except these sort of make the feet look a bit big. Yeah, I think it's the way I modeled this feet. But, yeah. This sort of fixes it. Alright, there we go. Ooh. Now that is Shower Milk Cookie's clothes complete. And in the next part, we're going to texture him. Hopefully. Yeah. It's gonna take a while to UV map all this stuff. But anyway, that is it for my Shower Milk Cookie modeling progress for today. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're new. And goodbye. Adios. See you next time.